Ignazio, where are we in terms of disruption in this industry? Because it's somewhat of an overused word potentially, isn't it?
It is actually a bit of an abused word. Let's see what fintech is bringing so far. It's definitely bringing less operating cost. It's bringing much more simplicity and ease of use. It's bringing more transparency actually. Many fintech products are much more understandable for families and for firms than traditional products. And it is also bringing the ability for investors to invest into loans to the small firms and to the real economy. So it's bringing all these things. Whether this is real disruption or not, that's a bit of a different conversation.
Are the traditional investment houses embracing technology far more than they used to?
The traditional investment houses and lending houses will embrace the technologies that fintech are using today. I'm 100% sure of this. Some of them will be faster, some of them will be slower, but expect that in 3 to 5 years' time, all of those technologies will be adopted by the incumbents.
Are you surprised about how quickly that is happening? Because there was sort of a resistance and a fear, if you like, of what this meant, say 5 years ago. We're at a very different place now.
Yes, we are. And part of the story is because, as somebody says, also 50 years old behave like millennials. In the sense that connectivity and access to data and computing power is really become ubiquitous and everybody has access to it. And so some things that might have been a bit more difficult to use 5 or 10 years ago with the old generation of phones and with the old generation of the internet have become much easier now, and so everybody can really access them.
And a savvy consumer really pushes this forward as well.
Yes, very much so. And consumers will expect more and more the same level of responsiveness that you have from Spotify or Facebook or these kind of services. All of them will expect this to also happen in financial services. Whether they are 60 years old or 20 years old, doesn't matter.
So that's the savvy consumer, but what about entrepreneurs and what they're bringing to the market?
What we are seeing in the fintech space is a combination of entrepreneurs, say of my generation, and much younger co-founders and entrepreneurs. And I believe this is interesting because you have teams that put together somebody like me who was raised in the financial world for many years, and somebody coming from different perspectives, but bringing something new to the industry. And both of them and both generations being actually entrepreneurs and participating in the firm.
And this can bring interesting things like the creation of jobs.
It can bring creation of jobs that are jobs of the future. Like risk managers who work in fintech firms are actually managing risk in the way it will be managed for the next 20 or 30 years. And digital marketers who work in fintech firms can engage clients and recruit clients in a way that is very much like clients are recruited today in most industries. So it's very valuable jobs, and not only jobs. And maybe in this respect, continental Europe could do even better than it is doing today, because too much is going to London from my own perspective.
So that's the innovations that are happening. What about the new people coming into this market, the threats from the big boys, if you like, the Amazons, the Alibabas of this world coming into this market? What are you seeing there?
I believe it will be a very big change, but probably the right word it is a big change. We do have already Ant Financial, which is the financial arm of working with Alibaba, with more than 400 million clients. And just a few people know that the largest money market fund in the world is managed by Ant Financial, with more than $200 billion invested. And this money is fundamentally gathered over digital channels and over the phone. So this is there already, and can only increase and accelerate.
So the traditional houses have got to keep up.
They should keep up, they should move quite quickly, and it is my strong belief that traditional houses would have a lot of weapons to react if they really realized how these weapons can be used. Everybody says that Amazon or Alibaba have got a lot of data about customers, but to some extent, the kind of data that a financial institution has is not matchable by anybody else. So it's a big wealth if they could use it effectively.
So what do you see as sort of the key things we're going to see in the next, say, 5 years? What would your big predictions be if I was to say to you, what are we going to be talking about in 5 years' time?
I'm scared about making predictions because predictions are typically
Everything's
they're
evolving
always
very
wrong.
quickly.
They're always wrong. So if you force me to
What would you like to see happening? Perhaps that's a better question.
No, it is. I believe banks, in the end, at least some banks, will react much more than people think today, like they've always done in hundreds of years. I also believe that the big techs some of the big techs will come in, but they will bring some kind of financial products that maybe today we cannot predict. So it will not be exactly the same use cases as we know, but it can be something completely different. I believe those two things will happen. And for us, small, tiny fintech players, it's a big match, and we need to run very fast and continue to improve to be in the game.
Exciting times ahead. Thank you so much for joining us. Great to talk to you.
Thank you.